Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Beacon, our Alien TTRPG live play here with the Stream Punks. We are back after our fundraiser for the next episode. Last episode, we jury-rigged the hell out of the stream, and we made it work. Noir, again, you get major shout-out and kudos. And Sam Delev also for helping basically duct tape the wires. And seriously, if you are going to squirm under praise, you are going to be the victim of praise every stream.
So I should just be totally non-reactive.
That's right. Go full Vulcan, or I swear to God, you will provoke the praise sharks. They will smell your discomfort in the water, and they will come and throw heaps of praise upon thee.
Discomfort, no, just purely that it was unwarranted. A team effort, as it was in both
Thank you,
patience
Sam
and
Delev,
resilience that allowed
for
us to
giving us all the ideas that we needed to help Noir patch that all through and connect all of the dots into the Discord and stuff like that. It was super helpful, and we are grateful. So we're going to kick things off tonight as we're all on the basic same channels, visuals and audio, and we're going to take advantage of this to have a good game this evening. I don't have any announcements at the moment, just that stand by for some of the stuff that we unlocked on the Streampunks fundraiser. There's going to be some thank you notes going out pretty soon to our big donors. Thank you for that. And announcements coming down the pipe, as we like to say in the League of Whimsy, announcing that there will be announcements. All right. With that, does anybody have announcements of their own for this evening? Not a damn one of you, huh?
Oh, I do.
Yeah. What's up? What you got?
So me and my friend Hype Goblin, we have put together a last-second Pride charity event. We're going to be running a few games over on my channel, Dino or Enigma, at Twitch. We'll be running the Mystery Business. It is a Scooby-Doo like game, and we're running an event in the Marvel universe called Be Gay Fight Multiversal Crimes. So we're gonna have some fun there. Please be sure to check it out. It starts June 12th, 8 p.m. over on my Twitch channel. All proceeds are going to the Trans Empowerment Project, which is near and dear to my heart. So please, if you have the inclination, join us for some stories and doing some good in the world. Okay, that's it.
That's a good announcement. Yeah. All right. Does anybody else have anything that they would like to share? Any other announcements this evening? Yeah. What you got?
I think I do. Oh, yes. Oh. Okay. I am running games at Gen Con this year. Mm-hmm. I have some seats still open, but I hear that it fills up fast, like a couple weeks before the con. So if you want to be at my table, go look now and sign up now. Also, I am running games at D&D in a Castle this summer in Ohio, August 18th through 22nd. If you are looking at signing up for that, I have a special code. You can DM me for it. I'm not going to broadcast it wide and far, but you also don't have to use it just on my table. You can use it on any table during my round, August 18th through 22nd. But DM me or at me, and we can figure out a DM situation, and I will happily share that discount code with you.
Sweet. All right. Thank you, Elisa. Does anybody else have anything they'd like to announce or pitch before we jump into tonight's story?
Unfortunately, I don't know enough about baseball. There's like fastballs and curveballs, but there's also like this really weird sort of twisty, turny, underhandy one, and that's what I would probably like to pitch. Unfortunately, all I have is just a channel full of science. Please go check that out. YouTube.com/@thelovely. And also, 3 weeks. 3 weeks I've been trying to tell people about this one science. The cast here knows because I've told them because I wanted to explode. But there were like 2 weeks I couldn't do science. And then 1 week that my tech got haunted even after this stream. So gosh darn it, tomorrow at 8 a.m.
Same language.
Pacific time. I know. I just feel so strongly about telling people about the gosh darn science. They need to know. Assuming I make it. I hope I make it. I'd like to talk about the science. I'm very excited about the science.
about the science.
Internalizing.
All right. Well, with that, everybody, we're coming closer and closer to the end of our story here on Beacon. So let us jump into tonight's episode of Beacon. It is challenging when you're about to launch an alien RPG, but you can hear children's toys singing happy songs in the background right when you're going live. Although technically that could add to the horror atmosphere, but I like to layer this so that it doesn't absolutely terrify my players. With that, let's go ahead and do a quick recap. Last week was a pretty intense session. The last chapter of Beacon is where some truths and some movements were figured out in the background happening right now at not only Beacon Station, but indeed across the entire arc of these characters' lives. Things are taking place. Now, instead of revisiting the full recap, I'm going to take this time at the top to kind of just give players a heads up about something. Moving forward from this moment on, I'm going to be activating a mechanic that you first see really pop up in earnest in the game Blade Runner, also a Free League RPG. Blade Runner has this nifty little mechanic to sort of make sure that players, not to pressure players, but to indeed keep the world alive and moving. In other words, I'm going to be keeping track of shifts as they happen throughout a period of scenes and days in Beacon, because things are now happening behind the scenes and things have been charted and mapped out how long things are taking. And that will determine how and where you all end up at what time. So another way of saying, be mindful of how much time you guys are taking to do whatever it is you're going to do. You've all been made very aware of the pieces that are being moved quietly around the board. And the crew of the Ilios knows about them now. So we're in that period where it's time to start making some decisions because the clock is starting to tick. So with that in mind, we are going to start our very first shift with scene opening up very shortly after you all explained to Baker that you were not going on the mother mission and that it's time to put some of the things, these pieces of unfinished business to rest once at last, or to uncover what has happened or what is going on with this Project Darkstar and loose threads that have been dangling around all of you, made all the worse by the fact that Doc has just uncovered. Not only does it seem like their family is somehow maybe tied up in some of this, but now it would appear that Doc's good intentions may have inadvertently put someone very, very important to Tig at great risk. Keeping in mind, too, that out here on the fringes of space for the United Americas, y'all are far beyond I would say y'all are far beyond the typical travel routes. Y'all are out the edges near the UPP territorial quote unquote line here in the galactic map. Far enough galactic north that you are basically months and months and months away from any travel back to Sol system. You guys are remote. You're out in the middle of nowhere. So another reason to keep in mind for the passage of time is that anywhere you choose to go, it is going to take a sizable amount of time to get there, even at FTL. So in the interest of getting everyone together and starting everyone off, I'm going to open up this scene shortly after Doc and Tig united in Doc's quarters. Doc, you have been taken down to the infirmary to have your hands looked at. As that was happening, the rest of the crew of the Ilios was gently alerted and called to meet you all there. Not everyone has the full story of what's happened. But when the crew of the Ilios arrives, there's been a small area sectioned off towards the very back of the infirmary. And Martha, when you enter, as well as Isaac, we'll say the both of you arrive at about the same time, you can see Doc getting his hands bandaged by Tig. Properly bandaged. A back area where it's sort of like the last bed in the infirmary, towards the back, where the lights are a little dimmer and there's not as many people gathered around. Doc doesn't look great. And both of his hands look like they have got a little bit of blood peeking through some of the bandages.
Doc, did you get into a fight?
No, Martha, I did not. I did this. I think I punched the wall. I think that's what happened.
A couple times from what it looked like.
Why would you do that? That makes no sense.
I couldn't think of anything else to do, Isaac.
I go and sit right next to Doc. Bad news?
Understatement.
Yeah, I've punched a wall or two in my time. Well, we're here for you, whatever it is.
I reckon there ain't much that can be done at the moment. But I appreciate you as always, Martha. Thank you. You're a very good friend.
Tig, what am I missing?
I think it takes a second for Tig to realize you were talking to her. And she like kind of startles back into herself and goes, Doc got some bad news and had an emotional reaction that was maybe less, a little ill-advised, but, you know, he had he was there were some emotions, and it came out physically. Sometimes humans do stuff like that don't make sense when bad things happen.
Are we not supposed to be asking what it is?
You probably can. He'll
What's
tell you if he
going on?
wants to. There you go.
Isaac, my daughter seems to be in alignment with Wayland Yutani. And I do believe that because of my stupidity and blindness, that I got a very good man killed. And I may have put another innocent in the crosshairs of some truly abhorrent people. And as for your question as to why I did this, in the moment, Isaac, I don't know that I was cognizant of why, but looking back, I think these hands have made my life possible. They've given me the means to raise a family and make no small sum of money. And it's all just led here. So I think I wanted to destroy what built this life. That's it.
Those hands have made a lot of lives, and made even more of them better. What did you do that was so stupid? You trusted your daughter? That doesn't seem foolish. What am
I thought I was a better father than I was.
My understanding is that children are their own people, capable of making their own choices. And a lot of them suck. This one sounds pretty sucky.
She's clever, smart as a whip, knows how to get things done, and now her aim, it would appear, is to work with Wayland Utani. And I don't know, Isaac. I really wish that I could give you better answers than this. You deserve so much more from humanity, but honestly, this is all I am. So we don't need to waste any more time here with me. I think you should all start looking into what steps you want to take next. I've got to figure out how to fix this.
What are you going to do? Are you not our captain anymore?
I already told him no take backs, so
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
definitely not the case.
So we're fixing whatever it is together, right?
Right, Captain?
Ow. Why don't y'all start planning? Come back to me later. We'll work it out.
Some food for thought before we go. And Tig waits until you look her in the eye. You feel like you wronged me? Right? Yeah? Eyes up here. Right?
Yes.
Is that... Yes. You make that up by leading us in the right direction. I know you feel like a failure right now, but you haven't steered us wrong yet. And that doesn't start now. So if you want to make up whatever wrong you think you've done by me, well, my penance for you. Lead us. Don't you dare give up. Don't you dare roll over. And Tig is gonna kind of start standing up and putting the gauze and medical equipment away.
At this point, I think everyone's comm starts to blink, indicating someone's trying to reach you guys.
Who is it?
It's your pilot.
Oh, okay.
Hey. So I've got the main cargo bay cleared out for anything that they want to move in here, and I'm about to head back over to Beacons. Quick hop, skip, and a jump through the umbilical, but just wanted to make sure you were all ready for me.
Working on it. We'll keep you posted.
Sounds good to me. I'll just have a cigarette then.
All right.
You hear the comm click off.
Martha, I could actually use your help with some stuff before we sleep for a while. If you have a minute.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll finish putting stuff away, and if there's any more of this scene left.
We are still in the first shift, just so you all know. So, okay.
Martha, before she stands up from being next to Doc, she's gonna just like put a hand on the back of his shoulder, just resting it there and saying, "We're in this together, Doc. We got you. Just take your time. Let us know what you need."
Thank you, Martha.
And then she'll stand up and look to Tig.
Yeah, I just wanted to talk to you about maybe some marine stuff. Not really sure if you'll be able to help me out or not. And she'll just, if we have, I don't know if there's like a room or like if there's a terminal that is Martha's or quarters or something that's just not out in the open.
I mean, there is.
I guess the Ilios is docked, right?
The Ilios is docked. It would take just a few moments to basically move into the airlock and cross into the Ilios.
Yeah, let's do that. That's easier.
Okay.
So a few moments later, after stepping through the bulky airlock doors as they seal behind you, you step onto the very familiar, very comforting grating of one of the decks of the Ilios.
So does Martha know about I can't remember what everybody knows, that Gemma had some DNA marker that we were worried about her kid. Is that something that Martha knows?
Yeah, I think, if I remember correctly, that is something that Martha did come into knowing, yes.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, I think in a most recent catch-up, Martha learned that.
Okay.
Who would have done the contact check to find that out?
Yeah, something.
So most likely.
And I think Martha knew about part of that before Tig even did. I just couldn't remember how far along you knew. Like I knew you knew about Gemma. I just didn't know if we had talked about either way.
I think so, because Martha was there when you first uncovered the piece of evidence that there was more to Gemma's story.
Yes. Okay. So as we're kind of walking in towards, I don't know if there's maybe the galley sort of area.
Up towards the flight. I mean, right now Connor is basically down below prepping the cargo hangar. So
yeah, at this point I'm just walking. Like it's just kind of to get out of Beacon Station.
So you all take up to the A deck basically, which is a few decks above where you entered to the dock. Getting to the galley takes a few moments, but when you finally reach it, you have the entire ship to yourselves right now.
So Doc said that a friend of his died. He thinks his daughter did it. The follow-up to that, the extra level of why he's being so squirrely is apparently he sent off Buffy's details to his daughter.
Oh.
For you, who she was in bed with. And I technically have that favor that we set up that was to keep her safe. That was what I asked for, but I don't know how to... how good of communications do you have with your people? That it's been a while. I don't know. It's been a couple of days since the message from his friend was sent, and it's been I don't know how to get that. Everything I make, I don't have, funds back up. I'm basically making half of what they pay us because the rest of it goes back to support her in the long run. And I don't have, do you have a way to talk to fill in your people? I don't know who you trust, I know you've had conversations now, but if there's any way we can get word that she might be of I don't want them to
She
know that
might
she's
needs
of
to
no,
be moved. She
but
might
she
need.
just needs protection. She's, like I said, she's on a Marine base, so at least, very least, there's that. But I don't know how to keep her safe from here. And if I tried to go to her, it would be
It would
weeks.
draw attention to things. Yeah.
It would draw attention, and also it would be weeks before I could even get there. And I don't really
Yeah.
know. I can't keep her safe from here. Me leaving was supposed to keep her safe. Ooh.
Got it. Yep.
Oh. So is that anything? Do you have anyone? I don't know how to protect her.
Where is she?
Safe haven colony.
Okay. Definitely can. Yeah, the question is, do I go through my contact? I think I should go through my contact rather than trying to reach out directly. Yeah, I can definitely. My contact has power, and she could send some folks to protect her. Especially, I mean, Wayland Yutani is wrapped up in this. Yeah. She'll understand that there's some urgency here.
She can know maybe that Captain Levine kind of already has eyes over there. Maybe
Okay.
that would be helpful, but
Yeah.
I don't know how to make it more urgent. I can't. Any message I send would take days.
Oh, I can make contact really quickly.
Okay.
I go to my locker, which is right outside the galley,
Okay.
unlock it, pull out my pad,
Okay.
and I'm assuming I can send messages from this pad of this nature.
No, you'd have to use the Ilios computer. Yeah.
Okay,
You can't
well
broadcast
then-
on this thing. You'd have to use the Ilios comms channel, or
Then
you'd have
I'll-
to use the beacon comm channel.
Okay, that's how I talked to them last time. Beacon. I'll
Yeah.
go to the Ilios comm station then.
Okay.
And I'll be like, follow me to take. So yeah, on the bridge at the comm station, open up a channel to the Brigadier General.
Okay, make me a comtech check.
Yep.
And Ilios gets to assist here.
Okay.
So, okay. Let me know what you roll.
Okay, so comtech with using Mother, yeah? Oh, you just said Ilios.
Mother, yeah, Mother did an assist for you.
You already did that?
Yes.
Okay. And was that my roll? No, that was last time, I think. I can't tell. No, okay. Hello. No, okay, that was my roll. I got one success.
One success? Okay.
Yeah.
So, with one success, you're going to be able to send off the message,
Okay.
but you do not get an immediate response. The
Okay.
message is sent with priority clearance, but after waiting about 5 minutes to see if you get an immediate connection back, it just still says message sent.
I checked the time. There might be a bit of a time issue, so we might have to wait till she logs on and checks.
Okay. Okay.
We'll get this sorted. Did you get wind of where? Well, she probably has a head start at this point, but where Doc's daughter is based?
Is that?
Pig, you would know that, yes. That
I would-
is
that is
information
correct.
I could tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Earth.
Earth. Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so if she's on Earth, we could maybe try to slow her down wherever she's trying to go.
I mean, I don't know if she'd be going. If she's got Wayland Yutani contacts, they could send anybody from anywhere.
True.
Not like they
Yeah.
really do stuff above the board.
Bring her in for questioning. I feel like the Colonial Marines would actually enjoy that.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that would break Doc.
If it could stop her from doing something really bad.
He has to decide to do it, though.
Okay.
we can't do it for him. It would. I want to help her too, but she's not quite the one at imminent risk of. Anyways, Doc's going through it right now. I think he's been going through it for a little while. I'm used to Marines, actually serving, but also I grew up on Safe Haven Colony. I grew up on a Marine base. I forget. I forget that. I don't know. It hurts different.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
I appreciate it.
No problem.
Okay. What is everyone else doing for the rest of the shift as we're starting to wrap this one up?
I think if nobody's paying attention to Doc, he's gonna slink off and send a reply message to Marie.
Okay. It wouldn't be a reply message because she hasn't
Yeah,
actually messaged
yeah,
you. But if you want to ping her,
he's gonna fit. Yeah, he's gonna ping her.
okay. All right. You hop up off the medical bed, and it is important to know that Isaac is watching you do this. As you slinking away is not going to be easy with a very loving, very guard doggish synthetic that is not prepared to just let you mosey on away without saying a word. But as you hop off the medical bed, you start making your way towards the exit without a word.
It's gonna keep going unless Isaac says something.
Where are you going?
Off to make a mistake, most likely.
Do you need help?
Yes.
Okay.
Doc's gonna walk over to Isaac and say, there's gonna be moments where I am less the person that you know. If I get too far off the mark, I want to see what you do about it. He's going to head towards where he's going to make the call.
Back to your quarters then?
Yep.
Okay.
With a little guard puppy trotting behind, apparently.
Yep.
Apparently. Well, you head back to your quarters. Isaac, when you arrive in the quarters behind Doc, the place has been utterly destroyed. You see broken glass, overturned tables. There's a big crack through the data unit. Also would be characterized as a large flat screen TV that's kind of connected to the mother system. It looks like someone came through here with just a wrench and just smashed the place. You do see a couple of drops of blood on the floor as well. Some of it looks a little smeared, like it's been stepped in.
This looks like shit.
Isaac.
Was it inaccurate?
Not at all.
I heard O'Donnell say that a lot.
Well, you're finding interesting things to pick up from interesting people.
I know.
Isaac. Well, I'm operating on hunches and insinuations and the like, and I'm going to ask for clarification. And I'm afraid of I'm afraid of what I will get back. Picks up and starts the process and starts to call.
Okay. Make me a contact check, if you would.
Woo!
And
I'm actually not bad at this. Contact plus wits, right?
you do
right.
get boosted by Mother, but I've already rolled that for you. So go ahead and tell me what you get.
All right, mama. That is one success.
Okay. You initiate a call.
Can I use the ox? Well, I don't need it. Never mind. Can I get an ox point?
Okay.
Take it.
Popping an ox
You
points.
never know if it's needed or if Eric just played us.
Yeah,
Well done,
probably.
Yep.
I'm
Poker face from here on out.
Either way.
This ox point comes to you all from our new member, Michael Harris. Thank you so much.
Hey, what's up, Michael?
This
Am I Michael's first point?
Yep. So,
we out here,
with,
Michael.
with
We like
two
this
successes, you gain access to the hyperspeed pulse network,
now. Woo!
and you see funds deducted from your account. And a few moments later, you see connection established, and you see Isaac for the first time. The logo for the Albright family medical practice pop up, and as it pops up, Albright, you feel your stomach shift as you see a subsidiary of Wayland Yutani underneath the logo of your medical practice. And as it says connecting, you see waking up a very sleepy looking Marianne Albright. And you can see the screen kind of angled in such a way where it looks like she is sitting up. You can get a bit of detail from this long distance visual connection. And it looks like outside there is a rainstorm, judging from the distortions you see across the windows behind her over the green overlay. She very sleepily says, "Yes, what is it?"
Hey, darling. Sorry to wake you up. I just want to see you.
You see she squints a little bit, and then she picks up her glasses and puts them on and looks at you and says, "This is the first time you've called me since you've been gone."
I know I've just been sending messages. I thought you would have been too busy, and I'm sorry about that.
What do you want?
That is a great and broad question, and every second here is costing me a fortune. So I suppose I should just get to the crux of this, right? First, I just want you to know I love you.
Okay.
And second, Wayland Yutani's subsidiary. It's quite a choice.
Is that why you're finally calling me?
No, I don't give a shit what happens with the company. You know that. You probably hold that against me. I want to know that the company is Wayland Yutani, not you.
What are you saying? I don't understand you.
You understand that I never wanted to work with these people because the kind of people they are, sweetie. They are cruel, cold, calculating, and they don't have any appreciation for human life. I want to know. I need to know that that's not you, sweetie.
You need to know if that's not me. You're not asking maybe yourself if that's you. Of the two of us, who let Simon go? Of the two of us, who let Simon run off to the frontier, never to be seen again, and then left me here?
I didn't let Simon go. Simon chose to go, and I've respected that.
You could have stopped him. But you didn't.
And the lesson you're teaching me is I should have stopped him. I could have stopped him, and I should have stopped you. Is that the lesson?
No, Dad. I'm doing what you couldn't do. I'm making the hard choices to ensure the company's future, to make sure that we have the resources we need to help people, because our leader decided to run off into the darkness, chasing a ghost. You did this to him, and you let your guilt pull you away from everything you had left. You left me here. You left everything here.
Do you know anything about what happened to Donald Essington? Do you know what happened to Don? Did you have any part in it?
Any part in it? He died of a heart attack, Dad.
Gee, don't be...
You think I killed him?
The people you work for, that would be a business expenditure. That would be routine practice.
Dad, Johnny was paranoid. He was scared of Weyland-Yutani because of their checkered past. I told him it was understandable. They do have a checkered past, but just like the Colonial Marine Corps, they've gone through a cleansing and they've washed out a bunch of their CEOs. You would know that because you ran into the arms of one of them out there on the frontier. The only person that really, of the two of us, that has aroused any kind of suspicion is you. I only just signed up with Weyland-Yutani because we were starting to crumble. And I needed something to move us forward. And you know how I feel about some of their practices, but you also know that I think they are doing good work and work that could, yes, be profitable for our company.
If you've seen the things I've seen, sweetie, you would know better.
Well, what can I say? I decided to choose the family that was still here.
I'm sorry for all the ways that I have failed you. This will be the last one, I assure you. Our company stands so long as I'll leave it to your capable hands, sweetheart. Please just, if you didn't have a hand in what happened to Don, then please stay that person. As blind and as foolish as I may think it is, just stay that person.
If I didn't have a hand. Okay, Dad, I promise I won't become this fictional murderer that you think I am. And I hope whatever guilt it is that dragged you out into the middle of nowhere and made you leave us and everything behind brings you some peace. But unless you were calling me to tell me that you're coming back, don't call me again. You see her shoulder reach over as the line cuts. She ends the transmission.
Eric, may I insight check that as a disinterested observer?
Who are you insight checking? Her?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Captain is a little easier to read.
Do you want to take a point?
I would love one.
You should take one.
This feels important.
This aux point comes from Bibliotech.
Thank you, Bibliotech, for helping me to read someone. That's 2 more. 3.
3 successes.
Yes.
So what is your question for this insight check?
What What was her reaction toward the accusation, and is it meritorious? Was she genuinely ignorant? Was she like, is she
Does
in
she
on
believe
it?
what she? Does she believe what she's saying?
Her indignation did not feel completely genuine. Some of it felt a little performative. But you also, with 3 successes, you can ask me 2 other questions about it if you would like.
What if the indignation was not genuine? What genuine emotion do I think I could have read?
Her insolence and her anger is all coming from hurt. That much is clear. She seems to genuinely have genuinely found a way to blame Doc for Simon's disappearance.
Yeah, I noticed that one.
You have a sinking suspicion that it is a cover for feeling like Simon left her and then her dad decided to do the same.
And throughout the call, she talked a lot about what the company needed, which is functionally, symbolic of Doc. This is Doc's company, first and foremost.
Mhm.
Why put all that energy into the company? What's her emotional relationship with that? And why does that? I mean, it seems to have her loyalty where the person the company was for does not. And the only reasoning I heard from her explicitly with her word things was that it helps people, which seems very, very surface.
Okay, so you get the impression she was trying to avoid saying words and that she was using help people as a vast generalization. Like she was trying to avoid giving Doc ammo to fire back at her. And the way she said, yes, it seems like yes, I did this what's best for the company. And yes, they are doing this and this. It would seem to suggest that she knows something specifically about the involvement of Weyland-Yutani with her company being something that could be considered ethically questionable, but that she is doing it for what she believes to be for the best. You get a sensation too from that statement that Doc probably knows what she's talking about.
Are you okay?
It's a little hard to digest. Being good at everything except the damn things that matter. I think she's lying to me. I know she's lying to me.
Why?
Wrinkle of her nose. First time she lied to me. It's because she took an apple. Nose always wrinkles like she's smelling the foulest shit in the room. I don't know to the extent. I hope my girl ain't a killer. I didn't let Simon go. He chose, and I respected it. And I tried to honor him. I didn't try to abandon her.
I think you all told me something about grief. It sounds like it might be relevant to your daughter.
All right, let me have it.
Well, it makes you act all sorts of ways. In this case, she's not rationally hurt that you abandoned her. Of course you didn't. She's not rationally claiming that you should have stopped Simon, but she's hurt. It's not real, Doc. The feeling is real. Those are always real. But just because she's hurt and you're hurt doesn't mean you were a bad father to her. Or to Simon.
One killed, one a killer. That's 0 for 2.
What's wrong with the company?
Wayland Utani?
No, we know pretty extensively what's wrong with them. If your daughter is so mad at you, she's not burning down your company. She's clinging to it harder than you did. And trying to save it? What's wrong with the company, Doc?
The funds that started my company, I acquired from a military grant. I had written a research paper on it was just a subject that I was keen on cloning. I'd found practical ways that it may be achievable. I never went so far. Human cloning, particularly. Questions, but I figured, what harm could it do? And I never took another military contract after that. I made it a point not to. I didn't want to give knowledge, resources, or understanding to people that would use it to end lives. I only ever wanted to use what I learned to protect life, to embed it. And that was to be the heart of what we started. I figured the one contract I did was harmless enough, and that in time I might do enough good to outweigh whatever evil they could do with my research. When it got time for me to hand over the reins of the company, she insisted on working with all manners of folk, bringing in new clients, new resources, new means of profit. I mean, we had enough money. We had enough. She's always had enough, but she's always wanted more, and I never checked it.
Doc. It's the company you built. It's not about the money. She's doing it for you. She wouldn't be so mad if she didn't love you so much. We're gonna fix this.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Isaac. I think I definitely needed a friend, but I'm all right now. You should go check on the others.
If you want some time alone, you could say that. You don't have to say you're fine.
All right. Obviously, I am not. So, I could use the time alone. Promise I won't make any more mistakes.
Thank you for letting me come with you on this one. Isaac will get up. And they'll put something, a keepsake, back on the desk. What is it?
I think it is a framed picture of a young Doc wearing an oversized jersey and basketball shorts with his hat on backwards next to this tall, hanky white guy who's got like very unfortunate braids. And it's just it's Essington and Albright.
Puts it back on the desk. That's the frame. Adjusts it a little. Moves one step toward you and reaches their arm out halfway and just lets it fall again. Have productive solitude.
I will endeavor to try.
Each shift is about 4 hours. So Connor eventually pings the crew again and says, I'm just curious if we're actually going to be leaving, if I should be expected to do this on my own, or is there someone coming to help me?
We're on deck A right now. We'll be down in a second.
Oh, bloody hell, I didn't know you were on the ship. Nice sneaking on board. You could have told me.
Well, we had some stuff to finish first. So then we were going to come help you. She looks at Martha like, I guess we're going to go help him. Be down in, where do you need us? Martha might have actually productive things to do. Where do you need me?
Just need some empty pallets loaded up here, whatever it is we're taking with us.
Okay. On my way.
All right.
Yeah, I head down with Tick.
A lot of things to unload, basically, that the Ilios is giving back over to Beacon for it to be used appropriately, and then standard stock supplies being loaded up onto the ship. But, yeah. The rest of the shift, then, is going to wrap with the Ilios essentially being loaded up with cargo. You do have to sleep for a shift. Unless you're Isaac, in which case you do whatever you want. So unless there's anything else, we will actually say that 2 shifts are going to pass for a total of 8 hours. It would have been
the time.
Sure. What do you want to do during that 4-hour gap?
May I find Baker?
Sure. Yeah. Baker is almost always up in his office. When you chime on the door, you hear him shout from the other side, "Come in," which is a habit that he needs to break because the door's open. As soon as he says, "Come in," starts to slide open. And he looks up and goes, "Hey, Isaac."
Hello, how are you doing?
"Fine, just a bit busy. Just trying to find your replacements right now. What can I do for you?"
Do you still have the backup copies of Virilla's files?
Presses a button on his desk and the door goes and closes. He taps another button, which mutes the room, and he goes, "Why are you asking for those?"
Because Virilla was very, very corrupt.
You're not wrong about that. I'm not supposed to have those. So, unofficially, my answer is yes. Officially, I don't know what you're talking about, Isaac.
Officially, I'm very disappointed to hear that, but I understand your obligation to adhere to policy. Unofficially, where could I find them?
Well, I don't know that I have anything that you don't already have, but whatever I've got. He moves over behind his desk and taps a button. You see a drawer pop open, like a small hiss. He reaches in and clatters through some data pads, and he pulls out one in particular and goes, "There you go." Hands it over to you. He says, "Those are the only copies I've got, so if you lose that, and don't make copies of it. Whatever you do."
I won't make copies, and I don't lose things.
All right. When are you all headed out anyway? Do you have a timetable yet?
The rest of the crew has to finish sleeping.
Oh, they finally went to bed, eh? Fuck me, what time is it? I should probably get on that myself. Beta shift started about 2 hours ago. Well then, bring that back to me when you're done with it, would you?
I will. May I walk you out?
No, I'll be sleeping in here tonight. I've got to get up first thing in the morning. One thing Varela did that was smart, she had a shower installed in the back there. He points, says, this, don't tell the rest of the crew because they're going to, feel bad about it. But trying to find a quick replacement. And the Koi is still a few weeks out, so the mother mission's having a bit of a fit right now. But thankfully, Kinnan is a nice bloke, nice enough, though was not expecting to see Maitland's face on that one. I thought there was only one of those. Learn something new every day.
Too. I try to learn something new.
Do you have any idea what the disconnect there is? I thought there was only one Maitland model based off of what we discovered through your not so fun romp through a dark and dreary landscape.
I don't know anymore right now. No.
This might be dipping into the things that Doc was trying to intimidate me with when saying, do you really want to know? Probably don't, but just so long as Kinnan is on the level, and he seems to be, it just makes you flinch a little bit, being told one thing, finding out it's not true. But then Maitland was unique in many ways, could have been lying, though he wasn't the one that told you there was only one of him.
Correct.
Well,
but there was only one of him when he was made. That may have changed.
Right. Well,
if you hear any gossip about it, it would be of interest.
I could tell you right now that most of the crew was a little shaken when they saw him.
I noticed. They stared a lot.
Yeah, they were a little surprised. A little surprised by that. A few of them went and saw the doc.
Dr. Khan, yes.
Our doc, yeah. Yeah. They'll be all right.
And you?
Yeah. I just, I wish I could do more for you all. Though turning my back on what you're about to do is probably the most I can do, considering that it puts the entire beacon station at risk and makes us liable. But I'm just going to pretend like this conversation didn't happen.
What conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to read nothing now.
Good. Yeah, do that.
Please sleep.
Yep. Get up.
Pauses in the doorway. But really, and then leaves. Gonna sit. I'm going to read this sitting outside of Doc's door.
Okay. You head back down to the crew deck.
Just outside. This
The
little guard puppy.
the station is noticeably less busy during the shift. Also, thankfully, they don't have to dim the lights in Beacon Station like they do, say, on like the Enterprise. In this place, the lights are almost always dim as it is. You linger outside in the shadows and start flipping through this data pad. Is there anything in particular you're looking for?
Varela, and I'm sure I've had this thought before. Varela blackmailed a lot of people to get Beacon. Said she had played every card that she had. I want to see her deck. I want to see if I can better understand points of contact, significant figures, anything that could help us better understand what Weyland-Yutani is doing now, either with respect to, well, possibly harming Varela from prison, possibly interfacing with Doc's daughter, Marianne,
Mm-hmm.
and some sense of who or what we might meet in Delphini. You can learn a lot from the things that a company that's doing this kind of stuff wouldn't want people to know.
Make me a contact. Well, actually,
I have
Give me
her
a
access
second.
codes.
Yeah, you'll get access to everything. However, I'm gonna say, make me an observation check.
My favorite.
You want to take a point on Oxford point, maybe?
Oh, geez, goodness. Golly willikers. I sure would.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Okay, this Ox point comes to you from Crafty Geek.
Hi, Crafty Geek. I'm trying to be.
Save us, Crafty Geek, save us.
Go ahead.
1. I got another one. So
Yes!
that would be 1 plus Ox point is 2.
2 successes. So,
Making observation checks. This won't last.
you thumb through a lot of these messages here in the dark, flipping through them. You have 4 hours to yourself to basically just comb through everything. And a lot of these messages you've already seen. Isaac, you're moving through them and looking for any keywords, anything that would stand out, anything that she mentions and brings up. You do see a couple of the occasional emails, the messages, long distant messages back to former contacts at Weyland-Yutani. You do see a couple of the conversations that you've already read before about just mild veiled threats after her severance from Weyland-Yutani. Basically, don't fuck with me. I've got the goods on you guys kind of emails, right? These kind of hidden veiled messages. As hour number 2 rolls around, as you're going through it for the 3rd time to make sure that you haven't missed anything, and we're talking gigs of messages as you're just scrolling through, looking at attachments. A lot of them are kind of just mundane. Something starts to slowly form in your mind, a pattern you're starting to see with some of the messages. There is a strange address where a lot of the there's a lot of standard, it's not exactly accurate to call it junk mail, but there are some messages that go out that kind of take, it's sort of like a broadcast of the ICC kind of always has this protocol where stations, particularly ones where lots of personnel are operating on, once a month do check-ins and basically transmit station status and so on and so forth. And it's standard protocol. It's for safety reasons. It's to make sure that the station is still running, that there's no emergency that's been declared, because out here in the middle of nowhere, a station that's gone dark could be very dangerous and unhealthy for everybody. You start noticing a pattern in some of the messages. She sends these messages to the ICC a couple of times a month, which is a little unusual and noticeable. And opening those messages, they just look like standard messages, like crew compliment, good health, like here's the power consumption, ship traffic, stuff like that, check-in, ship logs, and things like standard issue stuff that's transmitted to the ICC, all to ensure that Beacon Station does not lose its license out here to operate as a station independently. But something interesting pops up that you start noticing on your third reading. There is consistently, when it comes to referencing station status with regards to personnel, there is just a single letter in its place. Now, the first time you looked at it, you didn't think much of it because it could be ICC code for like shorthand for all's well and that kind of thing. But as you start flipping through the other messages over the series of the months, you start noticing that there's something written different in every field. And scaling back again and again, you begin to get a sense suddenly that Varela was trying to say something to somebody. Again and again, you see the scroll back, the message, the scroll back, and the transmit. The message, the scroll back, the message, and the transmit. There is what looks like a series of characters, and you start taking note of each of them. You're not entirely sure what this says, but when it's done, you basically get what looks like a jumble of letters and numbers that have all popped up in front of you. And it's about 25 characters long, and its significance you don't know. But as you quick reference to see if maybe this is shorthand for something, maybe like a flight controller might know, looking at any kind of reference manuals or anything like that, you don't see anything in the ICC handbook, which is readily available to everyone here at Beacon Station. And there doesn't seem to be anything to indicate what this actually, any of it meant, which to you, Isaac, knowing what you know about Varela, this is probably something. What it is, you don't know. With 2 successes, you don't know, but it's something, and you have found something, a message hidden within the message in plain sight. It doesn't require any fancy decryption of any computer key. It is old school espionage. You have found some kind of jumble that Varela was transmitting. And the latest one was as recent as the arrival of the Ilios after the mission, where the Coral Sea basically took her in. And it looks like it auto-transmitted. It was the final transmission from her office.
So a message jumbled, not encrypted in the traditional sense, because that would be crackable, presumably. Perhaps this is just the way that Isaac thinks about it, but did Varela ever recommend me a favorite book?
She recommended a couple of books.
Because a book cipher, I think, would be the kind of thing that you could transmit in the clear, and decryption couldn't figure it out.
You could, if you would like, to make an observation check to see if you can ascertain whether or not you're onto something here. As you try
Did they
to
get
unmute.
anything? They had more than one success. Is there any way they could stunt that?
The success was actually so.
It was okay. Figured I'd ask.
Yeah, no, the success was something's wrong here. 1 success is something's up. 2 successes is I see what's up, and 3 successes plus would have been I know what this is.
Okay. Cool.
So in this case, Yeah, because so first of all, Sam has actually discovered a thread here that's been in place since Varella's arrest, and second of all, it is not an easy thing to crack. So Isaac, go ahead and make your observation check.
Do you want another point?
I was about to ask, is it greedy?
Take another one.
You're
You're doing good work.
Important.
You're doing good work here.
Kerrigan 29. Thank you for the ox point.
I got another one. Yo, that's three observation checks that I've succeeded at, gotten successes on the dice. Eric.
How many successes?
So that is a total of 2, 1 ox point, 1 dice. Die.
No. Varela was too much of a cold-hearted. She was not a romantic. Everything in your body tells you start thinking about like clever ciphers that she may have picked. No, wouldn't have been a book. Maybe something much like this code, maybe something incredibly obvious, not obvious, something that would be easy if you knew how or where to look, something that might have been staring you in the face or an easy avenue of explanation. But the way this is all mapped out in these messages suggests that Varela was really good at hiding things in plain sight. Just enough to sow doubt and for people not to notice what it's actually doing. It tracks when you think about it. I mean, the Rasmussen had...
It was right there.
Right there the whole time. And it's worked brilliantly. Varela herself established herself as the CEO of Beacon after making enemies with one of the most do not fuck with commercial governments in the known world in plain sight. It's not exactly, it's something of an urban myth, but you have seen up close that Wayland Yutani works with hitmen. So for Varela to hide in the open like that, you're starting to see a pattern with this woman. She was either playing the game or she was still in the game.
She had to have been. Because, well, given that I at least find her death so immediately after incarceration somewhat suspicious, you don't do that if you don't think someone knows nothing of value, poses no threat. Still in the game. Okay. And that's as far as I get in terms of obvious, not obvious, yes? On the 2 successes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then I have to just take the shot in the dark, and maybe it just goes nowhere. Maybe it's cool. I don't. Just on the off chance it's the cool thing. I'd like to go back to my quarters.
Okay, you head back to your quarters. Stepping inside.
I'd like to look over Dr. Impressive and his
Okay.
collar.
The galaxy on Orion's belt situation.
Thank you so much. Yes. Hey, cultured. Cultured.
You move over to Dr. Impressive's collar. It is a simple black synth leather collar. It looks somewhat worn. The name tag is in a very generic bone shape. Clearly, this was supposed to go to a dog, but instead it just says Dr. Impressive across it, etched in it. Slightly scraped off. Some of the paint is then scraped off to reveal the tin underneath. But aside from that, you don't see anything on the collar.
Do you know? You have to tell me if you do.
Dr. Impressive looks at you for a second, head dipping. If you move too close, leans in and pauses for a moment, and then bonks head into hand.
Yep. Pet. Scratches on the side of the face.
Mm-hmm.
You were around her more than anyone. And then I was around the second most. And it's 25 characters, and I should really be able to figure that out.
Make an observation check.
1! I'm so proud of myself today. This is going to go wrong at the worst time, but in the meantime, like, vindication. You can't tease me about my observation checks for at least one day.
Okay. Isaac, you're petting Dr. Impressive. And of course, your mind is going to... It's not on Dr. Impressive's collar. You have no idea where to find this. And you passively are just petting this cat, running your fingers through Dr. Impressive's hair. And Dr. Impressive kind of purrs up against you. You find yourself staring at the cat for a moment as your hand pauses. Hiding in plain sight. Hiding in plain sight. You look at the cat again as Dr. Impressive looks up at you with those big, beautiful cat eyes, kind of expectingly, expecting some more pets. Hiding in plain sight. You start wondering what the significance of this might be. But something suddenly clicks. Being quite familiar with biological life forms in general, have you ever seen Mr. Impressive eat anything? In fact, did Mr. Impressive even have a litter box? As you stare down at the
one
cat,
on the Ilios, but I never had to change the lit.
as you stare down at this cat, as the cat stares back up at you expectingly, glancing around your quarters, Dr. Impressive's been in here all day. Not a single hair looks shed. No smells that you can detect with your olfactory sensors. And have you ever seen Dr. Impressive drink water? Or any kind of liquid? Hiding in plain sight.
You're one of us. I put my forehead to the cat's head. Pet.
Instinctively, or perhaps via programmed behavior, Dr. Impressive bumps his head against yours and emits a very authentic, very comforting purr. We are going to pause for our break. And we will be back in 10 minutes. Welcome back, everybody. We're going to go ahead and jump right back into our story where we left off. What would you like to do, Isaac, now that you have made something of a discovery? Technically, you are still on the second shift. So you still have a little more time if you want to make any motions now. What would you like to do?
Okay. I would like, following a hypothesis, to scritch Dr. Impressive because I know where my ports are.
Yeah.
If the ports were in the homologous location, anyone scritching Dr. Impressive would have found them centuries ago. So I would like to give all over scritches to Dr. Impressive to try to locate that. I don't know how. Yeah.
So Dr. Impressive is an adult cat, and no one ever knew Dr. Impressive's age, but at least on the outside, looks like an older cat. every time you've ever run your fingers through Dr. Impressive's hair, you have always felt the occasional like skin anomaly that older animals get, the occasional bump, the occasional mole, as it were, like the occasional scratch that's healed over. And indeed, perhaps by the very make or engineering of authenticity, Dr. Impressive seems to have those. But thorough search does indeed, without even having to make a roll, because you spend time doing this, and Dr. Impressive does not mind being pet this much. You do indeed find what would appear to be a small, well-hidden flap of skin just underneath the collar in one of the most obvious sites where it would be. Right on the back of his neck. As you find it, you pull some of the hair up, and at first glance, if you were to look at it, you would think it's a scratch that's healing. Don't touch it. But you notice he does not react as you touch it. There's no pain, there's no discomfort, there's no yowling. And so you gently run your finger over it to see if it follows, flips up, and sure enough, you see a port. Very, very small, but there is a data port.
Oh, you are truly your name, Dr. Impressive. Okay. I can at least do the basics before Martha's awake and could do more sophisticated things. Besides, Dr. Impressive and I have a rapport. I've bribed him extensively.
Okay. What would you like to do?
But mostly with scritches. Never. Wow. I should have said that. Can I try hooking up to a data pad?
Yes, that is doable.
I would like to do that, please.
Okay. You hook up to a data pad.
Do I see... Okay, sentences today. Do I see a file system on the cat?
You... It's a remarkable thing plugging in this small universal port adapter that you have as you clip right into the back of Mr. Impressive's neck. When you do this, Mr. Impressive suddenly stiffens up and becomes like an Egyptian statue and stands there completely still. All that organic behavior vanishes and eyes remain open, just staring straight ahead. You see an access menu start loading up on the data pad in front of you. And a few moments later, you see a blank screen waiting for a passcode.
I'll use Varella's.
Sure enough, the passcode that Varela gave you begins to load up a file directory. And you see the file directory. Each file is named something, looks random as you see them. They look like a random collection of numbers and letters that are kind of all jammed together. Each one a few characters long.
Anything that matches pattern in some way with what I got in the messages?
Make an observation check.
All right. Now we're starting to push my luck.
Screw hack the planet. We're hacking the Dr. Impressive.
Yeah, hack the cat. There's hack the planet. There's save the cat. We've combined the two, and now we hack the cat.
Hack the cat. Yep.
Do you want to use a...
I would like to,
That's
because
good.
I'm not that great at this role.
Pop it in.
This
Let's
aux
go.
point comes to you from Kato, aka
Thank you.
Kato.
Cat.
Hey, that has cat in the name.
Cat's
It
point.
does.
Though every time I use one of their aux points, I feel like Carthage has to be destroyed. Anyway, no successes. Thank you for the aux point, because that was the observation luck running out. Remember, Eric, my you can't make fun of my observation rolls doesn't expire till tomorrow because I made 3.
Okay. Yes, there's a pattern, and you get a sense that had you tried to open one of these files without analyzing whether or not there is a pattern, you may have prematurely ended any attempt to access these files. Indeed, the files themselves are out of order, but you see these messages that have been sent out. Curiously enough, this message is sent to the ICC. It raises questions as to whether or not they actually reached the ICC, or if this was yet a recording spot for where the password could be accessed. In other words, instead of just writing it down on a slip of paper, it would seem Varela was emailing, or rather pinging out fake ICC reports just to have them cycled back and to save fractions of the password that only she would know about, and an order of operations. Now, as you have gone through them, it's kind of a shot in the dark whether or not you've got the appropriate order. There's really nothing here that indicates whether you have it right originally or not, but you do have an order of operations based off of the very first messages down to the last message sent. So what you notice is that 25 character jumble that you have, they're all in the same grouping on these files. With that one observation check, that's something you probably would have noticed eventually anyway, staring at these things. With the observation check, you will notice that each pairing has been divided up. So it looks like each file that's available has its own group of characters. And perhaps doing them in order as you have written them down is the key to opening them. From first message down to the last message. First message you open, you click on it. And Isaac, if you had breath to hold, as you click on it, the data pad goes blank for a second. And then it starts loading up a run-on sentence. What you see in front of you is something called Protocol GR. It was in reverse order of the file sent out. You see that this one looks like a file that looks like it is to ping a general distress through the mother system here at Beacon Station. And it looks like it was a timed distress. How this was transmitted, it's possible that Dr. Impressive somehow transmitted it, but you don't know. But it looks like it has been activated. And it looks like at some point, and it doesn't have a log as to when, but it does look like it was activated at some point. It looks like a general distress that was supposed to go off. And judging from the way the code is written, it seems to indicate upon if she does not return or if she does not make it back, sort of like a fail-safe emergency beacon that goes off.
Yes, an emergency beacon.
You do see, however, that it appears to be linked to her PDT chip, and it's supposed to sing out a single pulse. You also see indications that it is a single line that has two words to be communicated through the pulse, which is request extraction.
Oh. And they just, without thinking, pet the very stiff cat.
Okay.
Then remember it's a very stiff cat.
It is indeed a statuesque cat.
Okay. If this is like a like a normal file system, I can see date created and like date modified or like last viewed kind of things. Anything I can get from that, from looking through those?
It looks like the system is specifically designed not to print that. There doesn't look like there's a stamp of data on the when it was created, or however, there is an activation marker on the location extraction. And the date pins it shortly after, I would say shortly after the departure of the Coral Sea from Beacon Station.
Can you elaborate on that so that I'm sure I'm understanding what you're saying.
It seems like at some point after you all arrived and she was left imprisoned on the Coral Sea before being taken back presumably for trial, a code was sent out, activated through what would seem to be a timed failsafe if she was not to return. This code was activated in order to send out a ping for emergency extraction. And it looks like it's connected to her PDT chip. And her PDT chip, which is basically her identifier chip, most of those only have a certain type of range. So you're not sure what the language here is, but it would seem to suggest that her PDT chip was pinged and a code was sent out for an emergency extraction.
Do those kind of things have to go through relays on the station? Because, like, yeah, I mean, you know,
There's
you'd have
no
a 30-foot
way.
range on your own Bluetooth, but
It would absolutely have to. There is no other explanation as to how there could be any sort of outward ping or interstellar travel of any kind of signal. A PDT chip cannot travel that far. Planetary, yes, but intersolar, that's a totally different situation.
who is point for comms? I would think maybe Villalobos, but that's like not really an air traffic controller's job, but like no one else
Villalobos-
comes to mind. Is there someone I'm missing?
Villalobos is the only other person who would have access to the comms for that.
All right. Then I would like to safely unmount the file system from my pad. Like, you know, they always warn you, like, eject safely. Important because cat.
Right. So,
unless there's something else that I'm seeing as I go through this.
I mean, there's all the other files you haven't opened yet.
True.
But that's the only other thing.
We're about to leave, and I think I might need the information that's on Beacon. So it's possible that in opening other files, I might want more information on from Beacon, but I know I need this because I have. Well, it would have. Okay. Yeah, I have to talk to Villalobos. So I unmount the drive from the cat and make sure that it is not a statue cat anymore.
Pretty much the moment you dismount the wire from the cat, you see animation return immediately as the cat kind of looks up at you and starts mewing, as almost Dr. Impressive is not at all aware of the passage of time.
Yeah. Yeah, she did that with me too. Scritch, scritch. You're a really good cat. I know people tell you that a lot, but they don't tell you it enough. And I know you know that. Pat, pat, cat, cat.
He stares back at you kind of lovingly, completely unaware of anything that's taken place.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, impressive he may be, but that cat's English garbage. Barely understands a word I'm saying. Or maybe not. Maybe not. Okay. Yeah, I want to go up to flight control. I want to try to look at some logs.
Okay. Heading up to flight control. You reach the top of Beacon Station Tower. And at the very top, of course, the top flight deck is that circular room that you can see, space all around you, all of the consoles laid out in front of you, and some music that is gently playing in the background. However, you don't see anyone up here immediately as you step out into sort of the darkened room. It's very expansive, but you do see signs of like cartons of food that have been finished and are kind of stacked. And it's not terribly messy, but it is a contained sort of chaos. And you do see what would appear to be stacks upon stacks of food kind of piled onto each other after it has been eaten. So that much seems clear. But you don't see anybody else up here right now.
Villalobos, are you here?
A few moments passes when you hear, whoa, hold on.
Oh,
And a few moments passes and you see Villalobos sit up and goes, what's up? What's going on? Are we good?
do you sleep here?
Yeah. Sorry, is that Isaac?
Yes, it is Isaac.
Oh man, I was having the worst dream.
I'm sorry to wake you up, but I'm glad you're not having that dream anymore. What was the dream?
Yeah. I don't remember, but when you were calling out for me, it felt like someone was kicking in the door, you know? Like oh yeah, I don't know. I think maybe because I probably heard the doors open and my brain was, yeah, you know. Whoa, what time is it? And looks at his
Time to go to your
chronometer.
quarters. No?
Oh my God. I just went to bed an hour ago. Did you need something? Why are you up here?
Yes, I do. I need to look at some old comms logs to correlate some data before the Ilios departs, but I can do that independently. You need sleep. 1 hour is radically insufficient for organic homeostasis.
Okay.
Go to bed.
Sure. Yeah, I can do that. So you wanna go through old comm logs?
Yes.
Can I ask why?
I found some old data. I want to see if maybe I could identify those messages and the vector they were sent. It's probably a feral avian chase, but I'm going to conduct it anyway.
A what?
Bed.
It's a bed. What?
No, it's a wild goose chase. No, you should go to bed though.
Oh. Sure. Let me just punch this up. He gets up and moves over to the console and he goes,
I'll clean up some of the boxes and cartons and
Thank
stuff while
you.
he's doing that.
I was going to do that. Thank you very much. Mother, could you just call up, how far back do you want to go?
I'd like to go back within
Basically, you
2
give them the
months of the
dates.
first thing.
Yeah.
Just like, yeah.
Oh, that far back. Okay. Anything you're looking for in particular? And taps in some keys up. Mother starts loading up all the station logs.
Well, I mean, I can try to look for it myself. Again, if you have to sleep, but I can tell you if that's easier.
I have to do it because of station protocol. I'm
Okay.
literally the only human that operates. I mean, Mother pretty much does the whole thing, but I'm kind of the failsafe. So
You would still be the only human.
yeah, that's true.
I'm looking for roughly 25 small data points of all roughly the same size. Probably within a couple week intervals of each other. The data would all be the same number of bytes in effect.
Okay. Interesting. Is it like in a message? Is this like a video comms?
No, it should be quite small.
Oh, okay. So data, like a text, basically text-based sort of data packet?
Probably on that scale, yes.
It's
I'm not
communications?
too yes.
Is it okay? Do you have any idea who the receiver was?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Okay. Do you know who the sender was?
Does that help?
Yes. If I can locate the sender, then I can immediately pull up files by that particular person using their access codes for ever since they arrived on station, really.
Well, Varela had really rather a lot of messages.
Varela? Make an observation check.
Oh, yeah, huh? 1 success.
If you didn't know any better, Isaac, you would think he just turned a little pale.
Eric, in my understanding of the tech involved... No, actually, you know what? I don't need to ask. Villalobos has already told me. I think you're probably familiar with these messages. All the traffic goes through you, yes?
Not through me. I kind of oversee it. Mostly goes through Mother. She's the one that kind of... It's a lot of work for one person, so she handles the bulk of the load. I mostly just make sure she's functioning properly and, easy job and that kind of thing.
Right. That sounds like evasion. Is there something I'm missing?
He, in a quick movement, reaches under a desk. You hear the rip of Velcro. And he stands up and levels a gun at you. Okay, don't move. You stay right where the fuck you are. Just give me whatever it is you've got, Isaac, okay? Whatever it is you've got on you. What is the data packet? You hand it over. You put it down on the desk right now.
Why are you doing that?
Just put it down, Isaac. Put it down on the data pad. Whatever you've got, put it down.
I'm not holding anything.
I'm sorry, Isaac.
You don't want to do this.
You can roll initiative now if you would like. But he squeezes the trigger.
Okay.
Roll a single d6.
Mm-hmm.
Lower is better.
3.
You beat him by 1.
Hey, I was just thinking, like, Isaac's gonna be all right because synths have such high strength, and then I realized the cat is also a synth. The cat is so much stronger than me.
Oh, it's not all synths. Synths aren't necessarily strong. We're mostly different durabilities, but we all have our own specializations. Isaac's
Direction
is strength.
What you do?
Okay, lovely. I would like this gun no longer to be involved.
Okay, so you're going to rush him?
Yes. One is supposed to get inside of the zone of something.
So, yeah, that's correct. So, as a fast action, you can dash right up to him.
Yes.
So you can zip right up to him, and that will put you in range. Because you are still technically, since you're in the room with him, you're still in the same zone. So you can move from close to within arm's reach of him.
All right.
So you're now in engaged range with him, right where he does not want you to be.
Yes. I would like to take the gun.
Okay. That is going to be an attack action. This is only possible if it's stunted. So you're going to roll the close combat action, and it is an opposed check.
Yes, it is. I would like to specify I am not going for any damage to Villalobos.
I figured that is the case. Yes.
I figured, but
I'm
if I
glad
didn't declare...
I do need you to clarify, but
because mechanically it's not a thing. We work around it, etc.
I played with Sam for many a year now, so I know what you were trying to do, but it's good for you to always declare it.
How many points are we down to, by the way, Eric?
Ox points?
Yeah.
We are down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have spent, this will be 6 if you spin this one. So, but we just got 2 new Super Punk subscribers, so we have more than usual tonight. Normally we have 8. We now have 10. So this will be number 6 that you've spent. if you
You
spend
like us? You really like us?
Yeah.
What do y'all think? Because it is like he's a bit
Use
of a
it.
noodle man. You know what? He's a bit of a noodle man, and I'm full of hubris.
Do it, because also he might hurt himself. Like,
Yeah.
I'm worried about that.
take the point.
But like, for the stunts, it means that all I need to get is one success on this. I spent my experience pile of dice. It's a big number.
Okay.
Yes, that would be 3 stunts.
3 stunts. Okay. So close combat stunts allow you to do an extra damage, swap initiative. The opponent drops the held item or weapon. You can also pull object from target, grapple the opponent. Humanoid opponent is knocked prone. Humanoid opponent is clinched. You've got all sorts of funsy options here.
I noticed that weapon to the ground versus pull weapon from are distinct.
They
I
are.
would like to have the weapon.
Okay, then that's pull it from his hands then.
Yes.
Which, already having failed the opposed check by getting 0 successes, there's no way he's going to be able to contend with the synth strength, especially yours, Isaac. So the gun goes off as you pull it. It doesn't hit anything vital, but there's an explosion of sparks behind you as it rebounds off the top of one of the computer consoles. And if you were organic, your ears would be ringing right now. However, you tear the gun from his hand just as it goes off. You still have 2 stunts. So how do those end? Because this is all in the same action. Or you still have 1 stunt because you got 3 successes, right?
I got 3 successes plus the aux point, so I had a total of 4.
Okay, then yes, you have 2 additional stunts then.
Yeah. But I don't know that I really want to keep him in grapple or anything like that. If I disengage, will that end initiative?
You don't know.
I mean, that's fair enough. I didn't hear disengage on that list. Do you think it is a fair use of the stunts?
No. A close combat attack is going to be swapping initiative, making somebody drop their weapon, grappling them. Disengaging is more of a fast action, I believe, or it could be a slow action. I'll have to double check. But yeah.
Well, so there isn't, like, as I recall, because there aren't attacks of opportunity.
Well, if you try to,
system,
let me put it this way: if you try to run away from engaged range, you have to make a movement check, or they get an attack on you. But he hasn't gone yet. You don't know what his intentions are. He did squeeze the trigger to try to fire it before you took it away from him. So a round has gone off. He has tried to attack you. It's difficult to say whether or not he is going to do anything else, but you have those 2 stunts left.
Is his back against the wall, or like...
No.
Is he just sort of free in the middle of the room? He's
standing in front of a rolling chair that is about 2.5 feet behind him, and next to him is just a wall of computer consoles that go to about waist high, all connected to Mother.
Okay. Yeah, I don't really think I want to grapple him. That would just keep the gun nearer him, and that's very dangerous. So you could have gotten yourself hurt with that. Bullets ricochet in small quarters. Don't do that. And I'll pass my turn.
Okay. On his turn, he takes a couple of steps back, and it looks like he is a cornered animal. He's going to use his slow action to... Can he do this real quick? Yes, he can. He is going to use his slow action and make a contact check as he reaches over to Mother and starts punching in a quick series of buttons. And you hear Mother saying, "Initiating wipe," immediately as he goes, beep, 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 and he straightens up and looks at you.
I can't let you do that.
It's done.
It can be undone, and you need to do that now.
No.
Why?
He doesn't say anything. He just stares at you.
All right. I will walk up into his face.
He stiffens as you approach him.
Do it now. I'd like to make an intimidation check.
Okay. Go ahead and make your roll.
Mm-hmm.
This is manipulation, and do you actually
I have
the
the
ability?
menacing talent. Yes.
You have the menacing talent, so you will be making a strength roll as opposed to and as opposed to manipulation.
Yep.
Using Isaac, he is quite aware of what you are capable of with that the strength you have on you.
I know. I like to think that this talent is awareness of how people feel about synths, but I hate using it. It feels icky. Oh god. Yeah. That's 2.
He stares at you and with a clenched jaw says, "No."
Is there anything I can do on the computer? Try to uncom tech what was teched.
You can make a comtech check, yes, but you're going to be rolling against Mother.
I know. This is going to hurt real bad.
Okay.
I can't.
That's not going to work, he says, as you lean over to the comms and start immediately typing into the computer.
Why not?
Because Mother's better than you.
Yeah, well, we beat her once. Gonna have to try again.
Take an ox point. Take an ox
Oh,
point.
yeah, I extremely
Please,
need an ox
please,
point.
please,
I roll like a die and a half here.
All
This is not my thing.
right. This ox point this one is from Shock 22. Oh, wait, that was the last one. Because you spent one to attack him, right? To get that extra stunt?
Yes.
So that was from
on,
Shock
on
22.
advisement of my lawyers.
That was from Shock 22. This one is from Guru Matt. So thank you, Shock 22. Thank you, Guru Matt. Go ahead and make your roll and see if you can beat the roll that I just made.
Yeah, no, I know, because you rolled well. I know.
Mother has quite the dice pool when it comes to content.
I know, and you roll it well. Yeah, I can't think of a situational advantage or anything I might have.
Okay.
I presume. Is there something I might be missing?
No, you're literally trying to override his wipe command.
I know. Please, please, please. No, just the one. Frack. No, I know. You don't have to say, I know.
Spare me your GM descriptions. Indeed, Mother's in the process of systematically going through and wiping each comm log. And it looks like it's a protocol that is designed to basically wipe itself when it is complete. It is at 30% right now and is running through all the data.
The air traffic controller has access to the system comms, yes?
The system comms?
The station comms.
Oh, yeah. You have access to everything up here.
Martha, help. Villalobos is wiping critical data over the station.
Beacon Station hears Isaac's voice on all channels, suddenly overriding the typical comm traffic coming in. Echoes out everywhere. Tig, you start awake as you hear it. Doc, you start awake as you hear it. And Martha, you're a Marine. You sleep light. You start awake as you hear it.
Yeah. Just sits up straight up and out of bed.
It takes you a second to process because you're not hearing enemy wiping stuff I need. You're hearing an amalgam of words jumbled together that you understand, but the context makes no sense. And why is this bad? And wait, Villalobos is our buddy. What's going on?
Yeah. Swing my feet off of the bed in my PJs, just put my boots on and Yeah, I'm just gonna head straight up there.
I'm gonna have you make a. No, you can swing up. Yeah, I think Martha. I think I could see Martha mobilizing to come to Isaac's aid. Isaac, you did say where you were.
Villalobos, yeah.
Villalobos.
He only stays in one place on this station.
And Martha knows that extremely well.
Okay. A few moments pass before you hear someone pinging up to the comm tower. Baker. Isaac, what the hell is going on up there?
Villalobos is wiping data.
The fuck? All right.
Hidden messages. He was in on it. And I'm looking this man's in the eye while I say it.
He stares back at you. He's like, they're not going to make it.
I have to try. People are getting hurt. People are getting killed.
He doesn't say anything to that.
Yeah.
You see the progress bar continues to go. You hear Baker go, all right, I'm on my way up.
Can I make another contract check in the interim to try to anything?
You can if you can. Technically, you can't. Technically, the way the game works is if you're attempting a failed task, you have to come up with a different way of how you're doing it than the first time around.
What if I use Varella's access codes to make it stop? Could I
You
try that?
certainly try.
Is that new enough?
A stop instead of an undo.
I don't think so. Yeah, I
That
think
would be my goal. Yeah, because only Martha. Only Martha.
Okay, so I would say that's not really a roll. I think if you're going to go with the access codes, because that gives you automatic access. So Isaac, if you turn and you want to use this moment to quickly input those codes to kind of override, you can. In which case,
Okay,
as you do this, Isaac, he shakes his head and says, that's not going to work. And sure enough, as you finish entering the access codes, you gain access to the comms tower, but sure enough, you do not gain access to the wipe that's happening at 40% now.
Think, Isaac. Think.
Just leave this alone. Walk away from it.
I can't do that.
Why?
Because it's not what a good guy would do.
You don't know what you're getting into. You don't know what this is.
And I need to, or my whole crew may end up dead. And that my job is to protect them.
Your crew is fine if they stay out of this. Isaac, let it go.
You don't know what we've seen. They're not fine. They're in danger. And the less they know, the more in danger they are. Please.
I can't.
Why? What are you afraid of?
He looks conflicted, but you see him clenching his jaw. He says, I can't.
Let me help you. Let all of us help you. Whatever it is that they're doing.
You don't understand what you're getting into.
No. But stop this long enough that we can talk.
Isaac, make an observation check.
Yeah. Oh, good pork. Okay. 1.
He's stalling. He's just trying to get you to keep talking. That bar is running up. He is trying to keep you busy. It seems like that is all he cares about right now.
Oh, God. A system can only run read-write operations if it's functional. Can't wipe what doesn't have power. I gotta break it. I'm gonna break it.
How are you breaking it?
Do I see a cable? Just for good cold power yoink.
You don't see a cable.
All right.
You are, however, holding a very high caliber pistol.
Yes. Do I know where in the gut? Actually, I know we talked about it before. I do know where in the guts of these machines the data is.
The mother mainframe, which is located on Baker's deck.
Which means I can break anything in here and it won't disrupt the read-write. It won't disrupt the action. I won't break the hard drive. The hard drive is not in the case.
That is correct.
Okay. So yes, I do have a gun, but that could ricochet and hurt Villalobos. My fist does not ricochet.
You can attempt to attack this.
I would like to
large
attack
computer
the computer.
mainframe.
I have put a file system on a cat.
Okay.
And I'm going to attack the computer.
All right.
All right.
You are going to go full King
Yeah.
Kong silverback. I'm going to destroy this fucking thing. Double fist smash down on this computer.
Look.
You are attacking a very not soft inanimate object that is quite bulky and huge. However, you are a goddamn synth and you are quite capable. So let's see. Actually, yes, that's correct. Yeah, go ahead and
Okay.
go ahead and make your attack roll.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5.
Yes.
Okay, Isaac. Yeah, it's not like attacking anything else. As your fist comes smashing down, you immediately feel the impact of your hand smashing against the metal surface of this computer. The screen shatters and sparks erupt into your face as you do this. Villalobos, you see him throw his hands up and just as this happens, and he jumps back and stares in shock as the casing from your impact smashes inward just a little bit. The lights blink and flicker. However, the program is still running.
Once
as
more.
you bring it down. Roll it again.
Yep.
It's rolling armor against you. It is technically a
Yep.
Okay.
That one got 2.
2. This time you actually do not make a dent. You bring your hands down again and more buttons crack and smash underneath your fists, but this time no sparks. The screens that you are smashing, you see them flicker and kind of flip in front of you as the data is trying to continuously project onto the screen. However, it looks like pixels have been busted and are malfunctioning.
All right, one more time.
All right.
Rule of 3s, baby.
Roll it.
Okay, another 2.
Another 2. Let me roll. Interestingly enough,
roll
I've been
dots.
rolling
Please roll
crap.
dots. Wait. Ox point.
Okay. You can spend an ox point. So how many successes you get? 3?
That will be a total of 3.
So then you do a point of damage this time. As you bring your fist down on it again, this time the casing from that second hit, you hit it at a point that it's weakened, and the metal folds a little bit as keys, those big chunky retro style keys, pop and fly off as you see the screen just suddenly blink out and go dark. You can now hear the humming sounds underneath the casing of the unit running. You hear Mother immediately come on the comms and say, Isaac, why are you attacking the computer console? 77B.
Because some things shouldn't be unwritten. Is there any kind of an opening now, or is it just end?
You see the board itself looks like it's been smashed in, but you don't see any openings. You see an utterly destroyed display, a keyboard that has been bashed inwards, and the casing has been folded in, but nothing looks like it's been exposed. There is panels underneath it that can be yoinked off if you have the right materials and tools.
All right. So if I yoink, then I could shove the gun up the computer's butt and it wouldn't ricochet and hit Villalobos.
Theoretically.
Theoretically.
It just depends on how the dice roll.
Yeah. What do I roll about that?
At that point, Villalobos calls out, Mother Isaac's malfunctioning. I need security up here right away. Understood.
How long does it take Martha and Baker to get up there?
Keep in mind, y'all were waking up from a groggy state and charging over to the lift after putting your boots on, getting into the lift, and then taking the lift all the way up to the top of Beacon, and then getting into this room. All of what's happened in the past few moments has been about 30 seconds. So y'all are still on your way up.
Oh, God. We're going to lose everything. What kind of roll do I make?
This is going to be a strength roll since you don't have like the tools or the key and you need to pop this
Strength
open.
stamina?
Yeah, actually, this might be a heavy machinery check for you.
Okay.
Because you are basically smashing into a console to rip it open. It's an access point for Mother.
Yeah.
So I would say make a heavy machinery check.
All right. Hey, 4.
Okay. And I rolled no successes this time. So you plant your foot into the point where you know on the other side is a hollow point that allows you to gain access underneath. The plating underneath the console folds in from this impact of your foot, Isaac. The wedged grating on the sides that kind of slide out, and then you can pull out the grating itself to like gain access to underneath. That pops. You can hear a clinking sound on the inside as it folds almost in half. It takes 1 second to reach down and pull that folded piece of metal right off, just like the Hulk, just ripping that thing off and letting it slide across the floor. You see Villalobos flinch and take a jump back, and he goes, "Isaac, don't do that." You now have access to the... It's not going to change anything. If you would like to do what you're going to do, I would say make the roll.
Now that I'm in, actually, can I just pull cables? Because that
You can
does
reach
seem
in and
like
start
it's playing
ripping at
strength and does
cables.
seem
Yes.
I'm sorry?
You can reach in and start ripping at cables. Yes. You
Yeah.
do not have to roll a strength check for this. You're basically grabbing anything you can find, from coolant to cables to chips, and you start tearing it free. At about this point, I'm going to say the lift opens up. Martha, you come stepping out because you're going to beat Baker to it. You step into a room and see Isaac on all fours tearing apart one of the flight control systems, ripping it apart. And Villalobos looks at you and goes, "I don't know what happened. They just came up here and started going absolutely berserk. They tried to shoot me."
Mother, what just happened in here?
Isaac appears to have lost control and is attempting to damage the flight control systems. Security has been called.
Isaac?
He was sending messages for Varela. He pulled the gun on me. I have it here.
I charge at him.
Okay. You're going to reach him. What would you like to do?
I think I'm going to grab him by the shoulders and be like, "What were you doing?"
He flinches as you charge up to him. You seize him by the shoulders. He looks at you wide-eyed and goes, "I was doing my job. They came in here and woke me up."
What do you mean you were sending messages for Varela? What?
I wasn't
Why?
sending messages for Varela.
Stop it. Isaac doesn't lie.
Look at what they're doing right now.
Stop it. Shut up. Tell me the truth.
Go ahead and make an observation check.
Okay. Observation. Wits. Observation. Okay.
So this is the session everyone expected we'd have, right? Like this is pretty much what we all saw coming.
Right? May I take an aux point, please?
Please do.
Yes, please.
Enjoy.
Okay, y'all are burning through them tonight. This is
I
from
know.
Aether Spoon.
I think I needed it. I only rolled one success.
Now you have to.
Now I have two.
That second success is what you needed.
Yeah. Okay.
He's lying.
Yeah.
He is for sure lying. He's lying pretty well, but he is lying. He is not telling the truth.
I'm gonna shake him a little more and be like, "Are you an operative for them or something? What? You need to tell me exactly what you did."
I didn't do anything.
Yes, you did.
He doesn't say more than that. He just stares at you.
I actually am gonna. I don't want to let go of him.
You let him go. He stumbles back and like steadies himself.
No. I said I don't want to let go of him.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't know what he's gonna do. I push him to the side and look at the screen. What am
You
I
see
seeing
a
on
broken
screen?
screen. It's been utterly destroyed.
The only thing I could think to do is to stop the read-write operation. The data is on another level. Maybe some of it can be recovered. I don't know how much was gotten rid of. At least 50%, maybe more.
I got you. I'm looking around. The only thing I can see maybe immediately is wires. I'm looking for something to tie him up with.
Yeah.
Oh, I can...
Just wires, right?
No, not even really wires. There's nothing around here that you could conceivably tie up a person with. It doesn't look like you see anything that could wrap around a chair or anything that would tie him up.
Like even just tie his wrists together?
No, there's nothing around here that looks like you could bind him with anything.
Okay.
The wires that are currently being ripped up are still attached to the mainframe. They're just hanging out like the guts of an animal.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna actually sit. I'll move him over to the chair, wherever the chair is, and sit him down on it.
He plops down on it,
and I'm gonna sit on him.
Okay.
I'm gonna sit on.
So
I just don't want.
I have to. So I understand. When you say you're sitting on him, are you facing him or facing away from him when you sit on him?
I think I'm gonna sit like sideways on his lap.
Okay. So Santa Claus style.
Yeah.
Okay. You plop down on his lap. He looks very uncomfortable as he leans back against. He looks at you kind of unsure of what you're going to do. You see him kind of clench the arms and stare at you a little bit like.
And then I'm going to take I'll sit Santa style, turn my torso so I can bind my arms around his upper arms.
Okay. You give him a big hug as you sit on his lap. And he just goes, Martha, I'm sorry. What are you doing?
Shut up. Isaac, as soon as Baker gets up here in security, they'll secure him and I'll go to another level and undo whatever he did.
It's on Baker's level. The data itself is all on Baker's level. I hope this stopped it. I don't know tech. I'm sorry.
Okay. I can't believe you tried to act like Isaac lied. How could you? I'm so pissed at you right now.
Could Tig arrive as backup? So I like.
If you send a story point.
I was also going to ask it, Doc.
Y'all are willing to spend aux points, I'll give it to you. You can use an aux point to be. Oh,
how many do we have left? I have like 2 or 3 by my count.
You have 3 aux points left.
And 12 minutes left.
Yep.
I don't know, you guys. I don't know if
I could go either way.
I don't know if I want to spend one. I don't know if I want to spend one for this.
Here's the thing: they're incredibly important mechanically, but you know what is incredibly important as well? Taking Doc. Just narratively.
I know. We'll get benefit.
If there is currency that I could spend to get my friends into a scene,
we'll do it. We'll do it. All right, we'll show up late.
Okay, these aux points to initiate you guys being injected into the scene and arriving cinematically right on time come from Duran 452 and Leo Ambermain.
Thank you.
Aux crew coming out tonight with those points. This is the first time we've delved so deep into the aux crew points.
Yes.
Yeah,
we have 1 left.
Wow.
We did. I will say I did see in the chat that we did gain another one during the stream. So
we gained another aux point during the stream?
That's what I saw in chat.
Hold on, I'm going to refresh.
Wow.
I've got to refresh.
which isn't the only time that happened. So
Yes,
Oscar,
we
you
did.
legitimately
Yes, we did.
Thank you.
Yes, we did. We have 2 more aux points.
Oh my god, you're the best.
We have a second aux point. We have a new super punk subscribed to the stream. You gained a second aux point. Thank you for telling me that because I would have missed it. I have to, because it's not real timed. I have to refresh. So you all arrive with Baker.
Okay.
Who steps onto the scene and just a look of utter confusion. You all see a scene of total chaos and a ripped up, torn up console. The lights in here are darker than usual because most of them are being emitted by the screens. One of those screens looks like it's been bashed into oblivion. Pieces of glass are splayed out all across the floor. You see chips, wiring, sparks are still occasionally just bursting out from one of the consoles. And you see Martha sitting on Villalobos' lap, giving him a big hug.
Yeah, I think Tig gets in, doesn't understand what she's seeing, and just the first thing she says is, Martha, give me instructions.
Secure him, tie him up with whatever you can, or just hold him, sit on him like I am. I gotta go down a level.
Good, okay, got it. I'm just gonna hold Villalobos by the shoulders, basically. Stand behind him.
Okay. Might I ask, why are we detaining him? What exactly is going on?
Isaac will explain everything, and
Yeah,
I
Martha's got to
dash
go.
out.
Martha,
Looks to Baker. I'm so sorry. I know this equipment is expensive. I had to stop him.
I'm not keeping track real time, but I
Mhm.
am measuring beats based on how long the scene is stretching on. So, Martha, if you're going to take an action to try to stop the data wipe,
Mhm.
it's speak now or forever hold your peace.
Yeah, I mean, you said this console is pretty busted, so I'm gonna go to the next level.
Okay.
Next level down.
Okay. So this console is busted, but if you try to look for another entry point on the level beneath, by the time you get there, there will be nothing left.
Okay, so I gotta just try this.
That lift is going to take you at least 15 seconds to ride down.
Okay.
Like another full 2 seconds to open the doors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
in that
Can you
case,
just plug your data pad into it?
I wish I
Into
wouldn't
what?
have brought
So-
it, honestly.
So keep in mind, I did describe the room as a circular room filled with consoles. There's
Okay.
not just a single flight computer.
Okay.
The entire thing is like a horseshoe
Okay.
of mother access points. Now, the computer that is currently running the program is indeed the one that Isaac has ripped up. But if the program is still running, it's running through Mother,
All
who
right.
is the station. So if you can
Right.
gain access to her,
Okay,
you
so
might
I'll
be able
go.
to stop it.
Yeah, I'll go to another console then.
Okay.
Can I give Martha the command action, which will give her an auto success?
Yes.
I believe?
Yes. If you role play giving that command action, I'll let you do
All
it.
right. First thing, I'm just gonna go. All right, none of this is making sense. Martha, don't focus on the console that's destroyed. I'm sure there's all manner of ports around this place. Find
Yeah.
the nearest one that you can and get to work immediately. And
Yeah,
as
good
for
call.
this one, if we don't have any restraints, perhaps we could induce unconsciousness if that is preferable to anyone here.
His eyes widen.
I would definitely like to ask him questions later, but do what you will, Doc. And I'll go to another console.
Okay. You go to another console. You're going to plug in to gain access to Mother. You pull out your Siegs and pad and start going to work. This is going to be a Comtech check. It is an opposed check versus Mother.
Oh, okay.
So,
So do I still? I don't get my +2 from Mother then, do I?
and not on this one, no. She is not
Okay.
going to feel inclined to help
Yeah,
you.
makes sense.
That
May I
is-
aux point, please? I know I have an auto success. from Doc,
Abso-free,
but- okay.
please.
Yes.
I mean,
Please.
considering y'all just gained
Yeah.
another one.
Yeah. Oh, I
Please,
want to
this is
roll
so
well on this
important.
too, though. Come on, baby.
on.
Come on.
Come on, I believe in you. You have the sickest macro in this whole
I roll so bad. I don't know why I keep using this online roller. I rolled 1 success, but I used to roll so many with my actual dice. So I have 3 total. Ugh.
Okay.
I'm gonna push it. I'm pushing.
Oh, right, you can do that.
Gain a point of yep.
Go.
Gain a point of stress, which you
Yes.
immediately have to add to the dice pool. The aux
Yeah.
point, by the way, comes from our newest member, Gon Mog.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you so
So you
much.
gain that auto success. Go ahead and push.
I got 1 additional. Oh wait, no, did I roll it? Sorry, I didn't roll it. Just kidding.
So there's an extra
Oh,
die in your
select
pool
dice
now.
to reroll. Oops, I messed up.
Um,
But I did
How-
get. Okay,
how
I
many-
got 2 more.
you got
Sorry, go ahead.
two total successes.
I got. I was only
additional.
supposed to reroll some, right?
You're only supposed to reroll the dice
Yeah.
that did not end up as successes.
Right. Okay. So in that case, I got
And you-
1 from my first roll, 2 auto successes, and 2 additional from this push,
What-
plus
Oh,
1 face hugger.
okay. So you're gonna have to make a panic roll, which we already know you're gonna succeed because your
Yeah,
panic,
auto
your
success.
stress was at 0.
Okay.
So, okay. So that is
So
a total of
5.
5 successes.
Hmm.
Okay.
That's when someone who can make a contact.
You're definitely going to beat Mother.
Okay.
With those successes, a couple of things start coming to light. First of all, as you're hacking and trying to gain access, something starts to occur to you as you're doing this. It's the first time you've tried to hack Mother on Beacon Station. She's an older system, so you were expecting some pushback, but you've hacked Mother systems before. Notably, the one at Jinx Colony that actually Paxton's reach was the real challenge in trying to gain access to that. This one's putting up even more of a fight, and you begin to realize as you're moving through and trying to gain access to the code, Martha, this is not an old mother system. This is a mother. This mother system is at least 8,000 or above.
Whoa.
The level of sophistication you start to see at fighting back at you, trying to jump the code. You see a hyper intelligent AI fighting back against you to try to stop you from gaining access. You, thankfully, during your time in the war, had encountered these kinds of advanced systems on more than a few occasions, specifically during the frontier and colony wars. Because back then, you didn't know it at the time, but some of your opponents were Weyland-Yutani, and you were having to jump their codes. This is the most advanced mother system you've seen. Your guess, 8,000 or above, possibly a 9,000.
What?
You'll have to check on that.
Wow.
But to give Martha context, her dice pool for Comtech is 10, and you're rolling against her. You beat her. She rolled 1 success. So a couple of things you're going to get as you begin to jump the code and hack into the protocol systems. First of all, the code that was used is independent of Varella's command code, but it has the same level of access to this mother system. It looks like an emergency code of some kind, and it has the same authority level as Varela. You do manage to stop the code. Now, you can do something like +1 to related rolls. You don't need to do this again, but I know what you're going to pick. You're going to pick
more information.
More information. You shut down the wipe.
Great.
Or rather, more importantly, more accurately, you're unable to shut down the wipe, but you can click pause.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So the command is still in the system and cannot be stopped, but you sure can make it stop for now.
Okay.
So Mother comes to a pause and says out loud, you hear, wipe override engaged. Wipe override halted. Engaged. Halted. Engaged. Halted. You don't know how long this is going to hold.
Mm-hmm.
But you have what looks like about 30% of the data left.
Okay.
The next piece of information you get is that the access code gives you full access to what looks like a bunch of hidden data routes throughout Beacon Station, including hidden comm channels that have been inserted into the code. Some of them, you can tell, you're not sure where they go, but you recognize, as somebody who is an expert in Comtech, you recognize some of these connected directly to Earth.
Whoa.
It also looks like there is a code in here that allows you to have instantaneous hyperpulse communication across sectors, including straight to Earth.
Whoa.
But that's not the most stunning piece of information you come across. Your blood almost goes cold, Martha, as you realize this code isn't being used by anybody that is an employee on the station. The code that you see has been given access to none other than Alvin Varela.
What? 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 Yeah, Martha says that out loud. What? As she's like typing away, trying to keep the pause going.
What?
Oh! Oh! She turns and looks at Villalobos.
He just stares back at you.
Actually, she's gonna turn and look at Isaac. And I want to keep him out of the corner of my eye, Villalobos. And this is probably gonna be an observation check. I'm gonna look at Isaac and yell, Alvin! And I want to see if he reacts.
He looks at you.
Like his
And
name was
then-
just called?
Yeah, and then he looks back. He looks back at Isaac and says, "That's why, Isaac.
Oh my.
You don't betray family." And that is we are stopping tonight's episode of Beacon.
Oh.
Well, damn.
Let's do XP.
I know one thing on that list we're gonna get.
Did you participate in the game session tonight? Yes, you did.
Oh my god.
Did you risk or sacrifice anything for your personal agenda? Not tonight. So one so far. Did you risk your life for a buddy PC? Thankfully, you didn't have to. Did you challenge or stand up to a rival or PC? No. Did you make a panic roll? Yes, you did. And you auto passed. So that's 2 XP. Did you overcome a dangerous event using violence? Yeah, I would say yes. You were shot at and you decided to use non-violence to stop that very quickly. Did you make a significant discovery or revelation? I'll let you decide. What do you think? Did you make a significant discovery?
My dude.
Did you
We
perform an
discovered
extraordinary...
Dr. Impressive is a synth cat.
So
Yes,
much.
that is the most significant discovery of the evening. That's
Yeah.
true. Did you perform an extraordinary action of some kind? Yes, you beat a Mother 9000 on a Comtech check. Did you earn any money? Yes, actually, today was payday. You actually did earn money on this session. Everyone got 400 credits to their name. Congratulations. And that'll be your XP for the evening. And that is going to wrap us out tonight. I'm going to go help these players put their brain matter back into their skulls. The rest of you, please have a lovely evening. Thank you again for joining us. Welcome to our new member, of course, to the Ox crew. And thank you all so much for the Ox points. A lot of the discoveries happened tonight because of your support. Honestly, did not know if this onion was ever going to get peeled. And here we are. So we will catch you next Monday night. Until then, this is the crew of the Ilios signing off.
Who was on the Rasmussen then?